Hey everybody, I'm the Gulf Coast Granny and welcome back to my kitchen table. Today, if you have a grandchild or a child who's about to start school, I want you to listen because maybe you can avoid what happened to us yesterday. I should have made this video yesterday, but I didn't because I was kind of aggravated and stressed out. I was more stressed out. So I wanted to tell y'all what happened. I live in a town of about 15,000 people and we have about 3,000 kids in the school district between 5 schools. And our school district decided to open. They decided to split the school district in half, basically. So they split the alphabet in half. Anybody with the first half goes to school this week. Anybody with the name that starts with the last half of the alphabet goes to school next week. And then they'll flip-flop back and forth. And on the off weeks, they're going to be doing distance learning. Yesterday was my kids' first day of school. So I got them ready. My son goes first. His bus picked him up at about 6:20, and Poppy left to go to work at about 6:30, and I get a phone call at 7:45. Come get your child, he's got a fever. Let me tell you something. If you're a parent or a grandparent taking care of your grandchildren, that is the scariest thing you're going to hear all year long. I didn't even realize it until I got the phone call, but it scared the daylights out of me. So I called Poppy, and I said, Poppy, you got to go and get Murphy because he's got a fever. Bring him home. I said, but before you bring him home, ask him what the temperature was. So he gets to the school. He asks them. They told him it was 100.6 and 100.3. They did it twice. So he says, well, just for good measure, let's check it now before I leave here and see what it is. Well, it was 97.3. But they insisted that Poppy bring the boy home anyway. So when he got home and told me all of that, I went ahead and took his temperature myself. Well, I wrote it all down. Look, I wrote all of it down. The first temperature I took, he was 97.7. And the second one was 98.8. And I'm thinking, what the devil is going on here? Now, mind you, I'm worried sick that my son has caught the plague. From somebody. I don't know where he would have caught it from. We don't go anywhere. But anyhow, so I told Poppy, I said, go up to Walgreens and get another thermometer so we can make sure that we're accurate here. So he did. And I took that boy's temperature every 15 minutes for 2 solid hours, and it never went over 98.8. You see, all those. So I called the principal of the school, and I wasn't aggravated with them. I just wanted to let them know something was wrong and that they needed to fix it because, parents, Poppy has a very understanding job. They know that I can't drive, and they know that he has to be responsible for doing things that I normally would, like picking up the kids, taking them to doctor appointments, and that kind of stuff. But, there's other parents out there that don't have understanding jobs, and I was worried that they were going to waste a lot of time on the part of these other families. So I told the principal that. I said, something's wrong. He does not have a fever. I've been taking his temperature every 15 minutes. And this is what I've gotten. And then she wanted to start quoting policy to me. Well, our policy is that if they have a fever... I said, but you don't understand. So I went back and forth with her for a few minutes, and I kept saying, I don't want him to go back to school. I want you to fix the problem. Well, she said they had to be fever-free for 24 hours before coming back to school. And that he could return after 8 o'clock today. I said, well, that's not going to work for me because he rides the bus at 6:20 in the morning. My husband leaves for work at 6:30, and there will be nobody to take him to school tomorrow, so he'll show up Wednesday. She said, okay, she'll write him an excuse, an administrative excuse, so that his absences will be excused, and like I care. I don't care. But that's the way they have to do things. So I was a little irritated that she didn't quite understand what I was trying to say to her. Well, I talked to Murphy a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what happened and what caused that thermometer to freak out. Number one, it was 85 degrees yesterday morning. My son wears a hoodie to school every single day. He'll be 12 years old in December and weighs a whopping 58 pounds. He is always cold. He rides a bus that doesn't have any air conditioning in it. He got off the bus and they took his temperature out in the 85 degree hot sun of South Mississippi. I believe that because he was wearing a hoodie with the hood up, you know how the kids do, and I think that's what caused heat retention around him. So when they pointed the thing at him and took his temperature, of course it was going to be elevated. By the time he got into the building, got the hood off, the hat part, it dissipated the heat and it went down to 97.3 when they took his temperature before he left the school. So I called the superintendent's office, and a very nice lady who actually used to be the principal at one of the other schools. She talked to me. We got the problem resolved. And what they're going to do now is they are going to take, basically, if a child gets off the bus, they point the little thermometer at them and it says that their temperature's elevated. They're going to send them to the nurse to get an oral temperature taken before they call a parent. Because you and I both know there's a whole big difference between an external temperature and an internal temperature. And that's what I said to the school board lady. I said, I don't know what kind of medical training the principal has, but you and I both know air conditioning does not cure a fever. So, if you are called because the school thinks your child has a fever and they're using those pointing thermometer guns at them, ask the school to take an oral temperature before you leave work, leave home, lose money to go pick up your child. That makes the most sense, and that's what the superintendent's office has decided to do. And they let the boy go back to school today. When I told the superintendent's office that he would not be able to return until Wednesday, she said, no, go ahead and put him on the bus in the morning. I'll call the principal and tell her what we've decided. So that's how that ended up. And I was happy with the way it ended. I was happy that the lady at the superintendent's office understood that I wasn't angry about him being at home. I was just concerned that other parents were going to have to go through this, and they were wasting time in the classroom, wasting the time of the parents because of something gone wrong with the thermometer. So that's the way our day went yesterday. My boy got to go back to school today. He was tickled. Everybody's happy. And that was the end of it. So y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you again real soon. All right?